Indian cinema, often known as Bollywood, is a very vibrant and influential industry, producing films in many different languages. But a lot more goes beyond the camera. A director's role is very crucial in making the film a grand success. And today, I am thrilled to announce that on our show is a director who needs no introduction. Let me welcome a dynamic director of Indian cinema, Mr. Sudipto Sen. Sir, a very warm welcome to the show, first of all. And let's begin with what does a good film mean to you?
Good film, to me, cinema is something. Cinema is an expressionist art form, and anything that expresses a thought, anything it expresses an ideology, anything which can communicate with you in the simplest form of communication is good to me. So whether it is a cinema or a painting or a literature, which can communicate the thought, which can communicate the ideology, which can communicate even a shared story in your right sensibility, in your right understanding, that is what is a good art. So to me, good art is always something which is easily communicable to man, human being to human being, and living being to living being.
That's
you get to know there are a lot of experimentation has happened, that musicians communicating with the animals, with the cow, with the elephant. There are many experimentation has happened. So any communication which can communicate between two living being is a good art to me.
Definitely. You've directed some films which are one of the best films in India. We'll talk about it later. But let's talk about the subject you choose. Mr. Sen, what do you keep in mind while you choose the subject for any particular film?
Well, the thing is, any subject which instigated me to give or draw an attention of mine to create an opinion, to make my mind, to understand the subject from the authenticity part, the subject, to understand the subject from the socially relevant point of view, or of the point of my interest. So having said that, any subject which is close to my heart, any subject which I think to be told, to be discussed with the common people, to be discussed with my viewer, is the subject of my own interest. Now, what happened is, communication or telling a story. For example, in our childhood, our grandparents used to tell us stories of kings and queens, many stories which we heard at the time when our senses was not been developed that way. Even today, we can recall those stories. You may forget the formulas of mathematics, of algebra. You may forget the theories of physics, chemistry, but you will never forget what your grandparents told you in the form of a story at the time of making you sleep or at the time of making you eat. The thing is, in every society, be it India, be it Europe, be it Africa, they have their own way of telling stories. Now, I choose the story which touched my heart, which has evoked my emotion, which I think needs to be shared with you. Those are the subjects of my cinema.
Okay, you've just told me about the subjects which you like, but what do you think? What is the role of R&D? I mean, how much it matters to do R&D and to understand the fact that what audience wants to see?
See, I don't see the cinema that way. I don't see cinema as a modern cinema or a old cinema. Cinema is cinema, and if it is not like that, then the films, even for our film industry, if you think of Do Bigha Zameen or Nicha Nagar, Nicha Nagar was made in 1946. Even today, if you see that film, Dobika Zameen, if you even today, if you see the film, or Satyajit Ray's Pather Pachali, Oku Trilogy,
Yeah.
if you see those films, even today it will steer you. It will give you the adrenaline rush. It will give you the goosebumps, exactly the way it used to give 50 years back. So cinema is an art form which is timeless, which is irrespective of the society, irrespective of any kind of parameters which touch your heart, which make you think, which make you enthuse and recharge your energy, recharge your aesthetical energy. Those are the cinema for the audience. It has no time, it has no age. And for example, that is the reason I always believe cinema is that art form where which is not an elementary art. Like literature is an elementary art, dance is an elementary art, music is an elementary art, painting is an elementary art. But cinema is not an elementary art. Cinema is a compound art, an art which consists of every art form of the world. It has literature, it has music, it has dance, it has acting, it has everything. It put together in a canvas, and as a coordinator, our director synthesized all the ingredients, all the elements, and put it into a format called cinema, and which is been shown. So the techniques of telling that story, technique of communication, that art form is timeless. Now there are a lot of new technologies has come. You see the film like Avatar from Hollywood. So where the visual spectacle, where the technical excellency, it will make you like you are sitting like 50 years ahead of time. But at the same time, if you see Pather Pachali, if you see Nichanagar, if you see Dobika Zameen, this time the films of Gurudat, films of Raj Kapoor, if you see even today, the same kind of aesthetical energy will pass through your veins. So this is a unique art form where art and technology mingles, but neither of them overshadow each other. Art will remain art, technology will remain technology. Sometimes it put together, come up with something new which is spectacular. Sometimes you need not to do that. Like for Iranian cinema, small, simple cinema, telling the story of a small little child, two little children. It can equally touch your heart the way film like Oppenheimer or Avatar touch you. Let us consider the art form as a unique art form. Every artist of that art form has their own way to tell stories, own way to use technologies. I personally use very less technology in my film. I believe in the simplicity of the cinema. So this is how it goes like that. Technology is important.
This is particularly your style of making films. There is one thing to select script. There's another thing, and which is very important, you will be agreeing to it, is selecting the characters for that script.
Yeah, true. That is what I was little while back, I was telling you, that the subject which touched my heart, the subject which I think needs to be shared, my realization, my findings, my research, my story, which needs to be shared with my audience, I take initiative to tell that story. For that, I try to understand, go as deep as possible, as diversity as possible, and my story almost encompass all the aspects of that particular subject. So telling the story is timeless. I mean, from time immemorial, if the cinema for art form is 130 years old, then choosing of a story, choosing of the subject of telling that story is remains same. The selection, the inspiration for a director, understanding about that particular subject of the director remains same. technology changed, the different kind of aspects of cinema filmmaking has been changed, but the core ethos of telling the story never changed.
If I compare Bollywood to Hollywood and the way the Indian cinema has evolved over the years, do you think we are at par with Hollywood, or if not, then it will take us how many years, to reach there?
We need not to reach anywhere. Our cinema is our cinema. That is the reason I hate the word Bollywood. Do you ever heard that German cinema is called Germanwood? Or French cinema is called Frenchwood? No. It is German cinema, it is French cinema, it is Iranian cinema. The problem had happened is, from the moment our cinema industry started flourishing, started evolving, we straight away took up the ethos of Hollywood and make our cinema Bollywood, Tollywood, Mollywood, Collywood, whatever you call it.
So what do you think it should be called?
The moment you do that, you dissociate yourself from the ethos of a country, of a civilization. It has to be sheer Indian cinema. The way Iranian cinema excelled, the simple, small Iranian cinema excelled the audience throughout the world, irrespective of the language, irrespective of the technology. They always call it Iranian cinema. The day Indian cinema will be aspiration for the audience, we will go to watch Indian cinema. The entire facade of Hollywood, Hollywood versus Bollywood, the technology, their technology versus our technology, everything will dismantled. And what will remain is your cinema, your entertainment, your realization, your history is your pride. So a filmmaker will tell the story of his life, his ideology, his land. He will not copy somebody else's production. You know why Hollywood was being made? Hollywood was being made to propagate the American business. American colonialism was trying to spread out all over the world. So they created the studios in Hollywood.
Okay.
And that they are creating the product which will enhance, which will support the white supremacy. You will not see any black man. Black man is the hero, when a white man is the villain. It is always the other way around. A white man will come and kill all the evils of the world. That is what is called white supremacy. So Hollywood was very successful by telling their stories and telling their the business model. India is a country of multiculturalism. India is a country where every 50 kilometers their culture changes, their music changes, language changes, their history, everything changes. Now, the Indian film should tell the stories of that India, that diverse India.
Okay.
If the moment they will try to copy, they will try to borrow from any other part of the world, they will lose the integrity of that space.
Okay.
They will look like parasite. That is the reason Indian cinema hardly exists in the world. Good that few Indian filmmakers made a inroad this time in Cannes, where 5-6 Indian cinema is being noticed, because those were Indian cinema. They never try to copy.
Such a beautiful thought.
They never call them as a Bollywood or a Hollywood or Tollywood.
Definitely.
So you will be known as you. You will be not known as you look like Dilip Kumar or Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay.
The moment you will look like Dilip Kumar or Amitabh Bachchan, you lose your existence.
Okay.
You are nobody to me.
Okay, so according to you, it should be called Indian cinema.
Absolutely.
And should not be segregated as
Absolutely.
Bollywood or Tollywood or Mollywood.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mr. Sen, what do you think about the OTT platforms? Do you think since the time they have come in, the silver screen has suffered to some extent?
I am inspired by the stories of my grandparents told me in my childhood.
All right. Do you?
So their story, they used to tell like that एक राजा था, एक रानी थी, उसके बाद ये हुआ था. I mean, the way they used to tell they used to stage the tapestry of the story.
Okay.
I still recall that how I used to sleep in my mother's lap. So
Okay.
I always try to evaluate their way of telling the story. I want to copy their telling story because I know that is such an organic process of telling story. People, it will definitely touch the heart of my audience.
Okay. Do you agree to the fact that the stardom which people used to like earlier is somewhere now diminishing because people are now becoming aware and they just want to see pure stories?
I don't understand the concept of stardom. I don't think you need a star to make your film successful. In my film, I never used a star. Rather, I created a star. My point is that again, I'll come back to the basic. You need a good story to tell. You need a good technician to tell the story because in cinema, camera is the pen.
Yeah.
It writes like the pen writes on your copy, on your book. So it needs a good visuals, it needs a good story, it needs a very, very heart-touching, heart-rendering way of telling the story. And if you can do that, no matter what, it will touch the heart.
Definitely.
Truth is such a beautiful thing, you know. If you are close to the truth, if you can tell the true story the way it is, it will touch the heart. You don't need any big star. I am not against any name, but I am saying that telling a story, you don't need telling a story that will touch the millions of heart. You need a star.
Indeed.
Satyajit Ray created Satyajit Ray's film, or Adur Gopal Krishnan's film, or Shaji Korun's film, or Shyam Benegal's film. People go to watch the film. People don't go to watch the star.
Okay.
When the content is less, when you have very, very thin thing to tell your audience, then you need the help of the stars or anybody. I don't need star to tell my stories because I am confident. My audience has given me confidence that if I tell a story, that can touch the heart of the million.
Okay. Sir, there are some young and aspiring people out there who want to be good directors in their future. What advice would you like to give them? Some people say that talk as much as you can, go anywhere you want to, learn as much as you can, and then you can, know the real struggles of life, and then only you can be a good director. What do you advise on that?
You said it. Actually, you know what? I have come from a very, very small town from northeastern part of India. Hardly anybody knows about the name of my place also. From there, I started my journey and I reached to the pinnacle of the success.
We would like to know about it, sir. Please tell us.
So that journey I did, and honestly, I did not have any godfather in the industry. I did not have many friends, many people have supported me in many stages of my life. But I think what was the biggest thing which kept me going is my dream. I had a dream which I pursued with all my honesty. I never complained that I am struggling hard. Struggle is a part of your building a process. So I did not shy away to struggle. I did not shy away to face any kind of adversities. And I never compromised with my dream. And these three things, I think, enough for a success. If you can dream something, you will yourself know that how to pursue that dream and how to make that dream happen.
But it has to be from the heart, certainly.
It has to be from, that is what I'm saying, it has to be very organic.
Yeah.
It has to be real. It has to be something which you can fathom in. Otherwise what will happen is, like for example, in the childhood, we always keep a wish list, bucket list we prepare.
Yeah.
I also had a bucket list of 22, 23 things. Now, out of those 23 things, I realized even today that 3 things I will not be able to pursue. I wanted to go in my childhood, I wanted to go to moon. Now I know I will not be able to go to moon.
Okay, but you will take your films to the moon.
I was a mountaineer, so I wanted to climb Mount Everest. But today I know I will not be able to climb Mount Everest. So I have rationalized my bucket list. So any dreamer, anybody who can dream, who has the courage to dream, has to have a logical perspective about the dream and has to perform without any complaint, without any shortcuts.
Okay.
If one can do, I think I am the example who has whatever I have achieved, I achieved with only sheer struggle and hard work, which I am proud of.
Definitely. You might not.
I
Okay.
think this is the mantra of success for anybody from a small town. Like me, in my childhood, I used to go to school in the rains. School used to get closed because of it is raining inside the class because of the holes in the roof. I learned speaking English, and when I was passing out my school. So that kind of humble background I belong to, and I think we are the people who has the courage to dream.
Okay, sir. In a nutshell.
People living in so much of riches have very small space left for them to dream.
Okay.
So I'm happy that I did that, and I think people who are around me, who followed, who loved my cinema, we already got the message.
Sir, you may not be able to go to the moon, but certainly your films are reaching skies. Thank you so much, sir, and we wish you all the best for your future
I really
endeavors.
appreciate it. Thank you.